Hello and welcome to Experience Realty. My name is Tarun. The importance of owning land is at times lost on investors as well as homeowners. Just imagine, the prospect or the idea of owning a townhouse or a villa in cities like London, Monaco, Singapore, Hong Kong. The sheer outlay of funds or the size of the investment would put most of us out of contention. Even the thought of contemplating to buy a property in these cities will put, most of us at loggerheads that whether we can afford it or no. Now, this is one of the reasons. The other reason is that there is no land parcels left to develop in these cities, So, you do not have land available to develop these expansive lifestyle options such as townhouses and villas in these cities. Now, you will be wondering, why is this guy talking about, buying a townhouse or a villa? Dubai, that is the land of superlatives, actually spoils you for choices. Now, in Dubai, you can buy a townhouse or a villa today at a fairly nominal price because the average per square foot price for Dubai real estate is around $650. Yeah. So you can, cherry pick, choose whatever you want and buy. But in the near future, with the development that is taking place and with the Dubai real estate market, which is on a roll, and you see every year we are breaking records, do you think that 4 or 5 years down the line, there will be land parcels left to develop townhouses and villas in Dubai? The answer is a resounding no. So, I want you guys to make hay while the sun shines. Yeah? So, if you have an opportunity and your means allow you to buy a townhouse or a villa in Dubai, go for it. Besides being your home or an address you will call a home for a long time to come, this property will give you stellar returns and will give you exponential appreciation as well. Yes, it will warrant you an amazing lifestyle also if you're a homeowner. Now, coming back to making you understand that why townhouses and villas are so sought after in Dubai as well, where, the land of superlatives, everything is better than what was last launched, or Dubai literally gives you choices for everything, But there is a segment in Dubai realty, which is very underserviced. And this happens to be the townhouse and villa category only. Now, with the total existing supply of residential real estate of 750,000, out of which townhouses and villas only account for 150,000, that's it. The population today is 3.65. The availability of townhouses and villas is how much? 150,000. That's already a very skewed demand-supply situation. Now, we all know Dubai is adding another 250,000 to its population year on year. Yeah? So, in the next 10 years, the population will be adding another 2.5 million to itself, becoming 6 million. But all the developers in Dubai to put together can only conjure 40,000 units a year. 40,000 units a year means 400,000 units over the next 10 years, which will take the existing supply to how much? It will be 1.1 million, population of 6 million. Now, out of this, townhouses and villas, which were 150,000 today, will only have an addition of 60,000. That's it. So you can very well imagine 210,000 townhouses and villas, population of 6 million. This is the opportunity for you. Buy or invest in a townhouse or a villa in Dubai, because very soon they will not be making them. Yeah, that is my word of advice to you. Okay. Now, another important aspect which I wanted to speak to you about. Now, the government and the developers, they are working tirelessly. They are toiling to correct this skewed demand-supply situation. So, when there is a situation like this existing in the market, and you see a sagacious or probably the most revered developer in the world in the form of Emaar Properties, they come up with an announcement of the extension of one of their most sought after townhouse and a villa community which is a suburban family haven, probably the most family-centric community that they have ever done. Now, if you are guessing the announcement and the expansion of the master plan is the valley, then 1,000 points to you for guessing it correctly. Yes, I am talking about the phase 2 of the valley by Emaar, which Emaar just announced. The expansion of the master plan, which currently is 2.2 square kilometers, Emaar will be adding to that master plan. This should be music to our ears, because if you look at Dubai real estate today, you want to go and buy a townhouse, everything is sold out. I will name the communities existing for you. You have no supply. Mudon, sold out. Damak, sold out. Tilal Al Gaf, sold out. Arabian Ranches, sold out. Valley, everything is sold out. So, Emaar is giving you another opportunity to secure a townhouse and a villa for yourself. Now, also I want you guys to understand, why was it so that the valley was so sought after, where every launch in this community was welcomed by investors and end users. You had hysteria, you had people waiting, watching, wanting and longing for a launch in the valley. Yeah? Why was it so? I think, and from my experience, what I can say is, the main reason for this is the location of the valley. The strategic location of the valley, which I would say cannot be bettered by any other community, because this location happens to be an area which gives you access to pretty much everything that a family needs, and it happens to be very, very prime, as opposed to what people might think that the valley is far off. Actually, there is no location more prime than the valley, and I actually want you guys to explore this with me, that why is the valley location the most sought after, and why this in the near future will be a location where people will be vying to buy or invest. So allow me some time and I will make sure that you will understand the importance of this location. Now, as banal, as cliched or as hackneyed I may sound, in real estate, location is of paramount importance. And as I told you earlier, I will explain to you why the location of the valley is so strategic. So if you see, the valley, which is right here, is in close proximity to the two existing economic zones as per Vision 2040, that is the business, commercial and the financial economic zone, which comprises of Burj Khalifa in downtown, DIFC and World Trade Center, and the heritage economic zone, which is this entire area which I'm highlighting right now. These are the two existing economic zones, and the valley also is only 5 minutes away from the upcoming knowledge, innovation and the technological economic zone, which is Silicon Oasis. So imagine a location in close proximity to Silicon Oasis, only 25 minutes away from downtown, only 25 minutes away from this heritage economic zone. How can you find a better location compared to the valley by Emaar? Now, if you look at the road connectivity that the valley offers you, I think this is unprecedented, because the valley is strategically located at an intersection of Dubai Al Ain Road and Lahbab Road. Now, Lahbab Road is a major force to be reckoned with now. Why? Because it is a rapid development and a growth corridor linking the valley to the upcoming areas of Dubai South, okay? Taking you to the airport within 25 minutes, Al Maktoum Airport, okay? And it connects you to the upcoming and dense areas which are highly sought after, like Jebel Ali Free Zone, Jebel Ali Industrial Area, DIP, DIC, all are accessible from Lahbab Road, which starts at an intersection of Sheikh Zayed, okay, and then carries on until Emirates Road, giving you seamless connectivity to this entire corridor, okay? Let's make this deal even more sweeter. If you look at Dubai Al Ain Road, which is a 6x6 lane highway, okay, which has been upgraded by the government with an investment of around 2 billion dirhams, okay. You have connectivity to all the lifelines of Dubai from Dubai Al Ain Road, which connects you again to Emirates Road, to Sheikh Zayed bin Hamdan Al Nahyan Road and Mohammed bin Zayed Road, all within a drive time of 4 to 5 minutes. That is it. So no destination from the valley is far off and all returns are smooth and serene. How can we better a location like this? Imagine Silicon Oasis, which is fast emerging as the fourth economic zone and will be the hub for academics, knowledge, innovation, technology. Just last year, this zone got voted as the #1 zone for SMEs and R&D related businesses world over by none other than FDI Insights, that is Financial Times. Yeah? Imagine the implication of this. We are talking about 30,000 registered companies in Silicon Oasis alone. Yeah, which is a largely leasehold community. There is only one community of villas that exists in Silicon Oasis, which is called Cedar. Besides that, you cannot really buy a villa or townhouse. So you have an organic demand coming from right here, that is Silicon Oasis, which in the future will boast the most cutting-edge universities in Dubai. Dubai has a very robust infrastructure for knowledge and we have 67 colleges and universities as of today. Out of them, 27 exist in Silicon Oasis. And with the D2033 agenda, where the government is targeting the bigwigs of the education world, let's talk about the IIMs, let's talk about the Harvards, let's talk about the Yales. Imagine if any of those were to grace Silicon Oasis, what kind of a demand it will generate for the valley. And last but not the least, this is something very important and it is to do with the location. You have Etihad Rail passing right through Silicon Oasis, which is only 5 minutes away from the valley. So imagine more connectivity, and Silicon Oasis will have an operational metro connectivity by the Blue Line by 2029. So imagine the world, or rather the entire Dubai is your oyster if you're living in the valley, because you're spoiled for choices when it comes to connectivity. You cannot get a better location than the valley by Emaar. Now, besides the location of the valley, which we spoke at length about earlier, what is the other reason that this community became so sought after, where every launch you had people going hammer and tongs to get something in the valley? Now, the reason which I think and which, in our briefing, Mr. Santosh from Emaar rightly highlighted, is that prospective investors and homeowners always look for amenities. And this, I think, was the biggest reason why the Valley Master Plan did so well. Now, Emaar is known for building communities which are cities within cities, so they're laden with amenities. But if you look at the Valley, it's actually Emaar's most family-centric community, which had around 10 family-centric amenities. You can very well imagine that you had 150,000 square meters of the land parcel dedicated to amenities only. And that was one of the reasons why this master plan was so sought after. I mean, you had amenities like a 30,000 square meter ginormous town center. Not 30, correct me. I'm going to correct myself actually. 72,000 square meter town center, which is the biggest in any Emaar community. Then you had a golden beach around 47,000 square meters. Who would not want to have an amenity like this in their community? Then you had a sports village of around 27,000 square meters and a kids' dale around 13,000 square meters. So besides, these are to name a few, there is 6 more family-centric amenities which the phase 1 boasted, and hence it was so sought after. Now you can very well imagine this community, that is the phase 1, started transacting at 650 dirhams per square foot just 4 years ago. In the 4 years of the development, this has progressed and gone from strength to strength, and today it is transacting at 1,000 to 1,050 dirhams per square foot. which is almost 66% appreciation in the last 4 years. Yeah, that's amazing. But another corollary or another anomaly to this is the cluster that got handed over, which is Eden, right here. Today, it is transacting at 1300 dirhams per square foot. You have a 3-bedroom townhouse in Eden going up to 2.7 million. These guys, they bought these townhouses back in time with a 60-40 2-year post-handover payment plan for 1.3 million dirhams. You can very well imagine someone who bought these is sitting at 150% return on equity. And this master plan is literally all of these clusters that have been launched today are transacting at around the same price point of around 950 to 1000 dirhams per square foot. So you can very well imagine, once there will be more handovers happening in this community, the growth trajectory of the valley is going to be solid. Now, Emaar communities and master plans have been the blueprint or the reference point on which Dubai was built and is being built. You need to understand, if we talk about Emaar, we are talking about a developer steeped in legacy. Now, even for Emaar to do justice and carry forward the legacy of the phase 1 of the valley, in order to do justice to that master plan and bring about something which will carry the legacy of the valley forward, they had to go back to the drawing board. And by going back to the drawing board means they literally had to garner all the wealth of experience that they have amassed over the 30 years that they've been in existence, bring it to the forefront and work on this master plan. And what a splendid job they have done. So here in front of us is the resplendent master plan of the phase 2 of the valley by Emaar. Now, one discerning look at this master plan and you will understand that the cornerstone of the phase 2 of the valley happens to be nature. Here at every corner, a new adventure will find you. All that you need to do is be receptive and opt for it, look for it, or move on to something else, because this is laden with amenities. Now, as I was telling you earlier, the cornerstone of this master plan happens to be nature, and the elements, the 5 elements which take the center stage here will be forests, hills, meadows, valley, and a river. So you can very well imagine what kind of a master plan we are talking about, which will create an active, holistic lifestyle for all the denizens of the phase 2 of the valley. Now, Valley phase 1 had 10 family-centric amenities, and it was so sought after because of this. This was the USP of Valley phase 1. Now, in terms of phase 2, as I was telling you earlier, everything has been uplifted to a different pedestal totally. So, in terms of open spaces, you can very well understand that these parks, the width of these parks is 150 to 200 meters. So you can very well imagine the kind of premium lifestyle this space would warrant you. Imagine the openness, the luxury. Land is very limited, hence highly sought after. But here, the developer is giving you all of this at a fraction of a cost. So if you understand, now this central park, which is in the shape of a halo or a loop, it forms the fulcrum of this master plan. So each and every cluster is meticulously arranged around this central park, which allows seamless access to all the clusters, to the green spaces, as well as the 33 amenities which I was talking about earlier. And when I say amenities, I'm not saying amenities just for the heck of it. Here, we're talking about flower farms, we're talking about orchard groves, we're talking about shallow rivers, we're talking about dunescapes, we're talking about paddle courts, basketball courts. We are talking about sensory play areas, nature play areas for the children of your family. So, a lifestyle-driven community. You can very, very well imagine the kind of vibe this community will have once it's ready. Now, what is there on offer? On offer, Emaar is coming up with not one, but two clusters of townhouses. You have Velora and Venera right here. These are the two clusters that will be launched by the developer first and foremost. Around 1,000 or 1,100 townhouses. Now, if you look closely to these townhouses, these are not normal townhouses. And why? If you look at these townhouses, rather than coming in plexes of 4, 6 or 8, here Emaar is only sticking to 4. So if you have a 4-plex, you can very well understand there will be more corners, which translates into more open spaces. So you have something which is very, very premium as opposed to being dense with 6, 8 and 10 plexes. Another important thing that is very, very noteworthy about this master plan, besides having all of these amenities, each cluster will have their own parks and their own community center as well. So the developer actually is spoiling you with choices. Now, another important aspect which I highlighted earlier as well, Emaar is going back in time, like rewinding and going back in time to give you what a villa or a townhouse owner really appreciates, and that is land. Here, a 3-bedroom townhouse comes with an average plot size of around 1950 square foot, and a 4-bedroom townhouse, an average plot size is 3289 square foot. If we pit it against some of the contemporary competition in the area around Dubai land, which is very close to the valley, you're talking about a plot size of 3,000 or 3,100 square foot maximum for a 4-bed. And for 3 bedrooms, we're talking about a maximum plot size of 1,900 square foot. Here, the developer has uplifted the entire communities and is giving you, that is the prospective homeowners as well as investors, land which is very, very limited. Imagine owning a townhouse in this community starting only at 993 dirhams per square foot, as opposed to 1,300 and 1,200, which were the two last launches that happened in the area of Dubai land. The communities, Haven started transacting at 1,200 and Athlon started transacting at 1,300. What can be a better opportunity than the Valley by Emaar, where you have all of these amenities, you have the open space, and you have a product which does not have any benchmark in the market. I mean, if you look closely, the 3-bedroom townhouses here have an expansive built-up area of around 2,475 square foot. An entry foyer of 90 square foot for a 3-bedroom townhouse with a living space of a whopping 450 square foot. You can very well imagine Emaar worked on all the feedback they received, where people used to say there is lack of space in the living area. You get 450 square foot. Well, people said, it seems very congested. You have a 90 square foot double height foyer, which gives you the expansive feeling of space when you enter into the villa. And even better, if you look at the backyards here, the backyards here have a depth of at least 5 meters, which is unheard of in townhouses. Imagine bedrooms. A bedroom on the first floor in a 3-bed has a size of around 5 meters. 4 bedrooms, all the bedrooms on top, that is the 3 beds on top, are all en suite. And as you wanted it and requested it always, the kitchens this time around are closed as opposed to being open. So, you are covered on all fronts. You can very, very well imagine this opportunity is there for you for the taking. Grab it by the scruff of the neck while it lasts. 1,000 or 1,100, given the kind of real estate market that we are in Dubai right now, it'll be gone in a jiffy. Now, when we are looking at buying a house as a homeowner or even an investor, aesthetics play a very important role in our decision. And if I'm buying a house to live in, I want it to look nice, prim, proper, and fancy schmancy from outside, yes? Now, this was a bit of a bone of contention when it came to Emaar. Why? Because they were not giving you too many facade options. But this time around, the developer has worked out or worked on this as well, and you will have these townhouses coming up in 6 facade styles. So you can very well imagine not 1, not 2, but 6 distinct facade styles is what you will have as an option to choose from, provided you must remember time is your biggest ally in Dubai real estate and your only nemesis. So act fast. You can have a choice of Clara, Nash, Serene, Oakley. A lot of them are there for you to come and grab this opportunity. Now, another important aspect which I have been thinking of, and I want to speak to everyone about it, about the phase 2. Now, when a developer announces an extension to a master plan to do justice to something which, created mass hysteria, sent, pulses racing, people were palpitating that whether I will be able to get something in this launch or not. The developer did a lot of homework before they decided to come up with these opportunities. A lot of study went into this master plan. You had to do competition analysis, and competition is what we actually spurs us on and spurns everyone on, and even for that matter, Emaar. We know the last launch in the valley, there was Lilia. It started at almost similar price point, 950. Now, usually developers, every time they do a new launch, they drive the prices up by 5 to 10%. But here, you can enter into a new phase at the same price point. You do not get opportunities like this. I'm going back and repeating this again and again because this is something very, very significant. Whoever invests here will make a killing because you are entering at the lowest per square foot price for a master plan which is young, for a location which the developer is warming up, and you will have massive development happening in the area that is Dubai Al Ain, where the valley is located. You can very well imagine with a lot of development happening, the valley which will be ready by the time others start developing around, and this will be a flourishing community which would have reached a price point where the others will have this as a benchmark to follow. So, my humble opinion, my advice, there is nothing better in Dubai real estate today. If you want to buy a townhouse, this is it. Do not let it go.